Hey, it's Nerdy Dan here with a SummerSlam recap. Last Friday night, I made a slew of predictions about who would win SummerSlam, and you can check that out to verify that I did, in fact, make these predictions. It's over on Anchor.fm on my podcast. But I'll just say this my predictions, I was 10 and 1. I'm not sure if anybody else was that good, so let me do a good old Barry Horowitz style pat on the back to congratulate myself. Of course, I did have Sasha Banks winning the SmackDown Women's Championship, and that couldn't happen. Then they announced Carmella, and so I had Bianca Belair retaining on my live stream. But as soon as Becky Lynch came out, I changed it up again, and I knew that she was going to win the title. Now, I'm not going to be doing a recap about every match. Many ended exactly how I thought, and I'm pretty sure that many fans thought the same as well. But I did want to touch on a few things that were good and bad, and also talk about the surprise return at the end as well. But first, I want to remind you to subscribe to the channel to let me know that you want more content. Good. There were some decent matches of the night, but I think the best match of the night was the Edge Rollins match. I think that was great. I think the fact that he came out to the Brood music was amazing and let everyone know that it was going to be epic. They really played well off of each other, and I think it was clearly the best match of the night. Two matches stand out that were not just bad, but surprisingly bad. Uh, I knew Lynch would win. As soon as she came out, I knew Lynch would be the one who would be walking away with the title. But making it a squash match was highly disappointing. You had the makings of what would have been an epic second match, opening it up for Banks to regain the title had she been able to wrestle, and then you could have had a third match, maybe at Extreme Rules, to settle it all. But for Lynch to just squash Belair just puts some disrespect on her name, and it disrespects all the hard work that Bianca Belair has put in, and it kind of makes the Mania match between Belair and Banks seem less epic than what it actually was. I don't think that was a good decision to make it a squash match. It should have lasted a little bit longer to allow Bianca Belair to put in some sort of good showing despite losing it to Becky Lynch. The second match that was really bad, and nobody really needs to be told this, was the Goldberg-Lashley match. It was the one that I picked wrong. I thought Goldberg was going to win the title since he'd never won the WWE Championship before. But I wouldn't have minded that I picked it wrong had they not made it just a referee stopping the match because Goldberg was hurt. That was super disappointing. I was left befuddled, dumbfounded, and verklempt. It didn't make any sense at all. I think they should have done at least a little bit differently. Make it so that he pins Goldberg after Goldberg gets hurt, and then just keeps attacking Goldberg, and then let the Goldberg's son come out and have the move done to Goldberg's son, and that if you want to set it up for something in the future, fine. Although I don't think there are a lot of fans that are looking forward to a redo of that terrible match, specifically because you made it a terrible match. I talked on my podcast about the reasons that I didn't think John Cena would win the title. From Reigns saying that he would walk out if he wasn't champion, that kind of telegraphed it, to today being the last official day of the Summer of Cena, to my thoughts that the WWE wants Charlotte to be the one to be the 17-time champ first, so she can be the one to pass her father. But there's one thing that cemented in that Cena was going to lose. Why would you make a new shirt with 16 belts on the back of it, show Cena wearing that shirt to the ring, only to have it become obsolete the next day? That wouldn't make any sense whatsoever. And I really want that shirt. I thought the shirt was awesome. But it was really stupid to make that shirt and have people think, oh, well, Cena's going to win and then my shirt becomes obsolete. No, that was just telegraphing again. One point that it did repeatedly make during my Twitch live stream, and I've said it before on my podcast as well, that Reigns as an unbeatable heel needs to have some way that he can lose in a good way to not make him look weak. One way that I suggested that could happen would be for Paul Heyman to betray him and join back with Brock Lesnar. Well, who showed up when the match was over? Brock Lesnar himself, looking like a big giant lumberjack. I mean, he looked huge. And I half expected there to maybe be an F5 with Big E cashing in at that point, but that wouldn't have made sense either because Reigns said he would leave if he didn't walk out champ. He didn't say that he would walk out if he lost to Cena. He said he would walk out if he wasn't champ at the end of the night. So he had to be champ at the end of the night. But now that Lesnar is back, it looks like perhaps this prediction of mine could also eventually become true. That could be the way that Roman Reigns eventually loses the title, maybe via a betrayal, so that he kind of looks less of a heel. And then it's no longer the unstoppable heel losing and making him look weak. But one thing that was really interesting tonight about the whole table, not just Reigns, but the Usos as well, both won clean. So they were both heels, but they both won clean, which means there's not that many kinks in the armor yet that would make him vulnerable. But now with Lesnar in there, who knows? So what do you think? Did you enjoy SummerSlam? Were you disappointed by it? How many of the matches did you correctly pick? Did you like or dislike any part of the show that I didn't discuss? Leave your comments below, and please remember to like the video, share it, and to subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much, and you have a good day.